you all, enraged by the murder of another innocent civilian by state agent Alex Preddy. As a nurse, I resonate with who Alex is. As nurses, our duty is to care for people's health even beyond the hospital. Nurses work day in and day out to protect life, to speak truth when systems fail our patients. However, we are also undermined, belittled, or ignored by the very institutions who work to silence us when we're finally speaking out for justice. But as nurses, we have a voice. We have a social responsibility not only to treat wounds, but to call out the systems that cause those wounds in the first place. But beyond being a nurse, I resonate even more deeply with what Alex fought and ultimately sacrificed his life for: the defense of migrants and fighting against the fascist attacks of our migrant communities. We will not let his death be in vain and instead transform our anger into collective action. Because the reality is that the violence that migrant communities endure today is rooted in the same violent system that took Alex's life. The Tango Migrante movement has been fighting to expose the medical violence that migrants are experiencing right in our backyard at the Northwest Detention Center. It is a breeding ground for disease, overcrowding, poor ventilation, unsafe water, and chronic medical neglect. Shame! If you get sick inside, you wait days to see a nurse, and even longer to see a doctor. Imagine months of experiencing gastrointestinal bleeding and being denied care. Inside the Northwest Detention Center, migrants in detention are being served maggots and beans, raw chicken and beef, and are left to go hungry for 12 hours between meals. And on top of all this, we are seeing the mental health impacts of families torn apart, parents being separated from their children, and loved ones left to languish. Shame! Repression isn't just inside the detention, but in our communities and even in our hospitals. Migrants are scared to seek medical care due to the threat of ICE in spaces that are supposed to be for healing. Migrant and immigrant workers have little to no protection that would keep them safe. Instead of our taxpayer dollars going towards social services such as healthcare, it's going towards gross human rights violations peddled by the U.S. government both here and in our homelands. But we refuse to be silent or scared because we know that together, when we fight, we win! Tango Migrante has fought for and won the release of 8 Filipino migrants from detention, including Auntie Lynn Dixon and Kuya Max Mondonio. We have worked with legislators like Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, Emily Randall, and State Representative Edwin Obras to advocate for migrants. Alongside organizations in Tango Migrante, health professionals help to stop the situation of another Filipino migrant, Kuya Greggy, who endured severe medical neglect under ICE's watch. We work together with the Defend Migrants Alliance to build a broad movement to support and fight for the rights of migrants, workers, and those affected by Trump's regime. So today, I invite you to join the Tango Migrante movement and the Defend Migrants Alliance. And to my fellow nurses, we are building a coalition of nurses committed to defending migrant communities. Let us take action together by demanding that the hospital institutions that we work for also take a stand to ensure that ICE is not on our floors and does not impede patient care. Together, we can honor the lives of those we've lost by continuing the struggle and becoming more united than ever. Chant with me, ICE out of hospitals! ICE out of our communities! When migrant rights are under attack, what do? The people, united, will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Ang tao, ang bayan, tuloy-tuloy ang laban, tuloy-tuloy ang laban, ang tao, ang bayan. Thank you. Next, I am excited to introduce our next speaker from the Defend Migrants Alliance, Cass from the International Migrants Alliance and the Defend Migrants Alliance as well, who we work with in Tango Migrante. Let's give it up for Cass.
Hi. I'm pretty emotional right now, because I'm fucking pissed off, but I'm Cass. I'm a member of Capybara Colectiva, which is an anti-imperialist migrant-led organization, and we're a part of the International Migrants Movement, and alongside Tango Migrante, launched the Defend Migrant Alliance to really broaden solidarity for migrants. And we're here today to say no more to Trump's fascist attacks on our migrant communities and allies. Just this week, Jose, a migrant from Mexico and a resident of Washington State, was illegally deported to Mexico while he still has an active appeal case. Shame! If it weren't enough, in the months he spent detained in the United States, he suffered from an injured arm and hand due to the violence used on him by ICE agents when he was detained. Shame! It wasn't until a day before deporting him that they finally took him to a doctor where he learned he will never have full mobility in his hand again. Shame! And Ricardo, a Venezuelan migrant detained at the Northwest Detention Center right now, went on hunger strike, missing 22 meals, demanding his release after being detained for more than a year and over 6 months after immigration courts ruled that they can't deport him back to Venezuela. killings of too many, including Renee Good, Silverio Villegas, Keith Porter, and on Saturday, Alex Preddy, who was gunned down. Shame! No justice, no peace! ICE agents are fascist kidnappers and murderers! And wherever ICE is, nobody is safe. While ICE is threatening our communities with guns and violence, community organizations, the folks around you, like us, are ensuring the safety and well-being of our migrant communities. It's important to note that even though Trump's attacks are more brutal and more nakedly fascist, he is by no means the first to do it. Every U.S. president has upheld the brutal imperial system that extracts resources and profits from our homelands, worsening the conditions that forces migrants to have to migrate to find safety, to provide for ourselves, for our families, because we have no other choice. As the fascist attacks continue to heighten, we need to remember that they're doing it on purpose. ICE is a machine against the working class and migrants, all for the benefit of the richest corporations in this country. Shame! And we know people are forced to migrate because of these machines, and we need to confront these violent systems. We need to raise the consciousness of our communities to see the root of the problems and understand why they are attacking our communities the way that they are. So look around you, feel the collective power and strength. They are growing their attacks, and we are growing our movement. We call for the release of all detained migrants who are ready to organize and expose the inhumane conditions. At the Defend Migrants Alliance, we have linked arms with the families of those most impacted, including the family of a different Jose, Andre de Medina, also a Washington resident. Jose, who was sent to Guantanamo Bay and tortured at the hands of ICE and the U.S. government. Shame! As the migrants movement, we have come together to release dozens of migrants from the horrific Northwest Detention Center. And so we must fight to join to defend migrants. Join the Defend Migrants Alliance and fight like Auntie Lynn, like Kuya Max, fight like Jose, fight like Ricardo. Through our collective fights, we have stopped deportations. We have gotten our community members out of detention, and the fights don't stop even when they deport our communities. Because as ICE and this administration continue to attack our communities, we're going to continue to organize, mobilize, and fight, and we will win. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Thank you.
Next up, I'd like to introduce Tangi Webb, SEIU 775 Vice President.
Hello, everyone! My name is Tangi Webb, and I am one of the Vice President of the SEIU 775, and I am proud to be here with all of you tonight. SEIU, thank you. SEIU 775, thank you. We are a strong union of 60,000 caregivers from Washington, Montana, and Alaska. As union members, caregivers, we stand in solidarity with the people of Minnesota, especially our union brothers, sisters, and siblings, and with everyone feeling the pain from the ICE violence. We are here to say together, loudly, clearly, and proudly, ICE out now! ICE out now! As caregivers, ICE out now! ICE out now! As caregivers, it's our job to make sure our clients have a quality life, one that includes dignity, joy, and safety. And we believe that everyone deserves dignity, joy, and safety. SEIU caregivers are mostly Black, Indigenous, people of color, women, and immigrants. And you know what? It's our backgrounds, our cultures that gives us strength and resilience and compassion that makes us caregivers. Because care work isn't just a job, it's human work. It's about people, caring for people. Caregivers and clients should not have to live in fear of ICE. We deserve respect, dignity, and safety. This is why we're all here tonight, to be unafraid, loud, and say, ICE out! ICE out! Say it again! ICE out! I am proud to say that I am the granddaughter of an immigrant. My grandmother Connie came here from Mexico to an unfamiliar place, an unsafe place, without knowing the language, and she was fiercely proud to be Mexican. From her, I learned how to keep going when things are hard. I learned how to care about people's story, and I learned empathy and compassion to create a more welcoming and connected community. Not one where we lock people up, where we kill people because of hate, greed, and racism. And we can all see from ourselves that the Trump administration has no intentions of keeping our communities safe. ICE out now! ICE out now! Congress has gutted Medicaid so they can give tax breaks to billionaires to fund ICE's terror campaigns in our streets. They cut Medicaid for seniors, people with disabilities, and families who need support. And instead, they're using the money they stole from Medicaid to fund fear, raids, and separations. But the Trump administration fear campaign won't work with us because, like my grandmother taught me, we are fearless. And it is from those values that I can see what is going on. We can see what is going on. We are being forced to choose between care and cruelty, and we refuse. We refuse to let our systems be sacrificed to fund ICE terror. This is how we protect our families, our freedom, our future, and we are not backing down. Now, we're going to call on Senator Murray, Senator Cantwell, to demand that they vote no on no more funding for ICE. We said no more tax dollars for ICE to be used to terrorize our communities, our children, our neighbors, our family. We demand that they vote against more money for DHS and put our tax dollars back where they belong. And now, I want to speak directly to the immigrant members and communities. I know you are scared. I know you have a lot of things holding you back. But please hear us here today. Say, you are not alone. We see you, we need you, and we are fighting for you. And today and every day, we are done whispering about it. We are done being afraid. We are done being quiet. We are done accepting a system that treats people like problems instead of human beings. And together, right here, right now, we are choosing each other. We're building power. We're standing up. And we're not going anywhere. Because when they come for one of us, I can hear you. When they come for one of us,
Yeah, I got you. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. Hello.
ICE out now. Thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you for fighting. Let's keep going.
Next up, I'd like to introduce faith leader Reverend Leah Atkinson-Belinsky.
Yeah, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. We're about 4 minutes out. Mic check. Yes.
Tonight I bring you greetings from Minneapolis and St. Paul. I bring you greetings from the 650 faith leaders who dropped everything to travel to Minneapolis last week when the call went out that our presence was requested. I bring you greetings. I bring you greetings from Minneapolis faith leaders, from Minneapolis community organizers and activists. I bring you greetings from the people of those great cities who are not okay tonight, who haven't been okay, who won't be okay until they are all okay, until we are all okay. A great and mourning cry has risen in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it is still rising as the cities mourn and call us to witness. And I want to talk to you briefly about the importance of witnessing, because I witnessed many things in Minneapolis. Last Thursday, I completed an Ice Watch patrol with a busload of pastors in a neighborhood just 4 blocks north of the site where Alex Preddy was executed. And as I completed that patrol, 5 SUVs of ICE agents pulled into the parking lot behind me. They surrounded a van with a pregnant mother and her children, while faith leaders began blowing whistles and getting their phones out to record. In less than a minute, they were gone, leaving the woman and her family shocked and scared. And we're not sure whether they left because she managed to produce the right papers to appease them, or because of the ruckus faith leaders can make when we know that something is wrong. But in less than 60 seconds of arrival, the agents jumped in their vehicles and left. 60 seconds. I am so thankful for those who witnessed what happened, but here's the horrifying thing. I didn't. I was right there. It happened maybe 300 feet behind me in a strip mall parking lot, and I missed it because I was facing the wrong direction. I am so tired of living in a country that is facing the wrong direction. A country where people either reason the suffering of others, deprioritize it, or seem to have no time for it. A country where a white hotel clerk in downtown Minneapolis can watch tens of thousands of people march by in negative I don't know what degree weather, protesting ICE, but tell me he sees nothing wrong in his fair city. And yet hours before, as I sat in a church in an immigrant community, a woman was carried in with injuries from a completed ICE abduction a block and a half away. Shame. We have got to be better witnesses to what is happening around us. And those of us of faith have got to be better witnesses to the teachings we've been entrusted with. White nationalist Christians don't get to own my faith, and I will not stand by. I will not stand by while they preach belief in Jesus, but don't preach what Jesus preached.
It has, and in that time we've heard a lot of emotional speeches from many people. Let's show you what we're looking at right here. You had mentioned that road closure. Right here you can see where 2nd Avenue is blocked off at Madison, blocked by cars, bicyclists, all the way toward Marion. And you can see there are easily a few hundred people out here holding signs saying, "We stand with immigrants, abolish ICE." In total, we are seeing a coalition of groups demanding our state senators refuse to fight fund ICE, launch an investigation into the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, and they're also calling to remove ICE from Minnesota. One of those speakers we heard out here is King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai. He said the deaths we've seen are horrific and maddening. He said King County is not going to sit quietly by while this is happening to the country. He led people in a cheer saying, "Vote no on funding ICE." I did speak with an organizer within the past half hour. She said they are not expecting to host a march like we have seen in similar demonstrations, including one here in downtown over the weekend. They expect this to wrap up shortly after the top of the hour. We will be out here speaking with organizers in just a few minutes. We'll have the update for you tonight on Como News at 11. For now, live in downtown, Jackie Kent, Como News.
But turned up again to be there when Alex Preddy was killed, with out-of-state faith leaders changing their plane tickets to provide them with support. And Lord, I and the other pastors who were already on their flights wish that we could turn those planes around and go back. Their witness is powerful in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and as our country falls apart, I want to ask, to what will we witness Seattle? To what will we witness Washington State? On one of the many ride shares my group took while in Minneapolis, we got talking to our Somali driver, overwhelmed with emotion at having us come all the way from Seattle. He asked, "You did that for my family? You did that for all the immigrants here? I want to tell you this." And he stopped the car and he turned around in his seat. "I want to tell you that your witness matters. What you have come to do matters. And 5 years from now, 100 years from now, my community will remember you and what you did. I love you. I love you. I'm telling you that I love you." I share that witness of love with all of you today because they are words for you too. Our love and the ways we show up in this world for one another matter. It matters to our neighbors. It matters to God or whatever you think of as the sacred in this world. It matters to the future of humanity. Do not underestimate the power of your witness in such a time as this. May we be blessed to face in the right direction.
Okay, thank you all for coming out. We have a few more things before we let you all go. One is, I don't want anyone here to walk away thinking, this is it. This ride is going to save us, politicians are going to save us, an organization is going to save us. What's going to save us is each other. What's going to save us is talking to your coworkers, talking to your family members, talking to your neighbors, and getting them to get involved. There's some great infrastructure here already. Seattle Indivisible, organizedworkers.org, and importantly, I want to give a huge shout out to the Washington Immigration Solidarity Network. They're doing some fantastic work here in Washington State. If you go to the website, WAISN.org, you can get involved in some of the rapid response and know your rights trainings. But everyone walk away, get your neighbors' phone numbers, talk to them about what's going on, buy yourself a whistle, a good metal whistle.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Get more involved.
Testing. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 1 2.
Yes. Okay. Great.
In Minneapolis, it is terrifying. Everyone is terrified. I was scared being there for 48 hours. There was,
I'll hold these down here so you don't have to worry about them.
All right, great, thanks.
and the bell went off
Let's go from left to right if that works from
Okay.
in my heart.
Right
I
to
wasn't.
left.
Are you guys just?
Go to right.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Everyone ready? Great. And feel free to look at me, not the camera. First,
Okay.
please say and spell your first and last name.
So my name is Gwen Goodfellow. GWENGOODFELLOW.
And what is your official title?
So I am a caregiver, and I am a member of SEIU 775.
Thank you. And your first and last name.
My name is Tangie Webb, TANGIE, last name WEBB.
And your official title.
I'm one of the SEIU 775 vice president.
Thank you. What is the message you guys are sending today? What is the message you guys are sending today?
So for me as a caregiver, I take care of clients who rely on Medicaid funding for their hours and their medical. And I think my message is that my clients are losing hours. I have a low hour client who may actually just lose services altogether before next year. And instead, that money at the federal level is going towards the brutality of ICE in our cities.
So beyond tonight, what kind of action are your groups taking, this coalition doing to keep the message out there?
We're providing support for immigrant workers, our caregivers included. We're providing training to communities and people that are impacted, knowing that they are safe and they are not alone, because it's important as a caregiving union that has Black, Indigenous, women, people of color, and immigrants, that they know that they have a support system. Our client, like Gwen said, her as a caregiver having clients, this all goes back to the money. And what do we do when the money is under attack? We show up and say, hell no, we don't want that to happen.
Can you speak to the fear that's being felt when you're hearing from clients right now?
I feel like when we all hearing that they're scared, clients are losing caregivers because caregivers are not showing up, which means that impacts their quality of life. If you require a lift to get out of bed, to do simple things such as go to the restroom, make your meals, and a caregiver can't show up because they're afraid of being taken away from their kids, taken away from their families, then what happens? So then you have a loss of service. So now you have a person alone that needs care that can't access care. And then you have a caregiver stuck in limbo that can't be paid, right? And so it all is a big cluster of things that are happening.
What do you think about this turnout here in Seattle tonight?
I feel like for a short-term action, it was a good turnout. I remember here, Gwen came all the way from Vancouver, Longview, Washington. So that's almost 2.5 hours. So I feel like when people feel like they need to do something, they're going to show up at any cost to protect themselves and to protect the people they care about.
Anything else you'd like to add that's important for people to know?
Yeah, I would like to say I'm a gay woman, and I take my grandchildren to school, and then I get pinged on my phone that ICE is in town, and I go and show up to be a bystander. That's a terrifying thought now.
A lot of fear out there, a lot of unknowns about what's next, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Anything else either of you would like to add?
I feel like this is the time that we have to use our collective power to do something and not just sit back. All of this goes back to the biggest thing, which is money. It is keeping the billionaires billionairing and keeping them rich, and it's keeping all the other folks tired, hungry, scared, right? And so we need to make sure that we're following back to what really matters. It's the people of this country. It is my members like Gwen who is doing all the work every day. Thank you.
Against racial and political repression, the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project, and so many other grassroots organizations that are doing the work. I don't need to.
We'll have you stand.
Yeah, you can like it.
Okay.
The safety of our lives depends on it. I need you to act in the quiet moments and the loud ones. I need you to act when it's inconvenient.
I'll hold the microphone so you'll
Okay, I will, yeah.
Today, tomorrow, and every
Okay.
Can you please say and spell your first and last name?
Yes, Roxana, it's Roxana, Norouzi, Norouzi.
And what is your official title?
I'm the executive director with One America. We are a statewide immigrant power building organization.
And what does that group do?
We build power for immigrants in Washington State, which means we organize immigrants directly impacted by issues of immigration to be able to move justice for immigrants. We organize events like this, protests. We bring people all across different sectors, from labor to faith to community organizations, together to fight for what we know we deserve, both in terms of defense and also in terms of offense and the things that our communities need and deserve.
What is the message your organization is sending tonight? I saw that paper with a few specific demands.
Yeah, the message from our community is that ICE and this administration is terrorizing immigrants and is using immigrants to consolidate power and erode democracy. Just this last year, Congress allocated $170 billion to ICE to go after immigrants, enforce their immigration policies, terrorize our communities, and we have seen the result of that with the loss of 2 lives and many, many more. And so our demand today is that Congress vote to not add $1 more to the DHS budget, that Democrats hold together and don't allow any more money to be taken from working people like all of us here today and be given to this rogue agency that is literally murdering people on the streets, and to fight for accountability of the officers that caused this loss of life, accountability to DHS and how they are going after our communities, using use of force, an unaccountable agency, and also to claw back the money that has already been allocated.
Do you guys plan to host more rallies like this one in the future?
We absolutely do, and not only host rallies, we will be organizing, we will be training people, we will be figuring out what are other ways that we can utilize our collective power to impose consequences on this regime. In Minnesota, we've been so inspired by the organizing that's happened there. We saw one of the largest general strikes the day before Alex Preddy was murdered, the largest general strike in almost a century. And that is exactly the type of movement that we're building towards, is that it can't just be protests, it can't just be rapid response. We have to use our economic power to also impose consequences on this regime and make sure that people know enough is enough. Our democracy is worth fighting for and worth saving, and we will continue to do that.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I think the message I have for everyone that is out there, that is feeling angry, that is feeling outraged, is to join us in whatever that looks like. Join a community rapid response. Join a protest. Figure out a way to move your anger into power. At One America, we have an immigrant justice team. We are giving people concrete ways to use your voice, to use your power in this moment. We believe that the power of the people is strong in this moment. We have seen city after city, from LA to Chicago to DC to Minneapolis, demonstrate that organizing is why we're seeing Bovino leave Minneapolis today. And we know that if we come together and if more of us come together, we can in fact save the soul of our country and preserve our democracy. So that is my message. Join us, turn your power, your anger into power, and we will continue to fight. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.